In this video, I would like to show you how to use this JavaScript, which is animate on the scroll library in your website in order to make your website look more sleek and they call it as like sexy. So I'm just going to scroll down here. You will see that how the components in the website actually fall in one by one. So it will only appear as you are scrolling the website from top to bottom, and you can actually scroll up back again and you will see how it will disappear and it will appear in. So basically there is a JavaScript that you can use in order to create this kind of effects for your website. Apparently it's not really that difficult. We are going to use the same way of how we always put in our JavaScript into our bootstrap website design. Now let's jump into trying this on our work. Okay, alright, so first of all I'm going to create a folder. Then you can call it as AOS or anything that you want. And then let's go open it up, and then I'm going to pretend that I have all these images, and then after that I will put in JavaScripts, and I'm going to put in another one which is a CSS folder. Let's pick one pictures in order for us to use it as an example. So I'm going to go to unsplash.com and then just find one pictures to put it in. So probably these pictures that I'm going to use is the one that is with the landscape. Let's say I'm going to take this green picture, so download it, take it as a medium. Okay, and then after that I want you to drop it into your folder. So I am supposed to have it in here, go into images, leave it in here, and change this into picture 1. Now this is just to make a statement or to show that that thing is there. So I'm just going to need only one picture. So let's open up a bracket. So you can use either Dreamweaver or Visual Code Studio, but I'm going to use bracket for this. Okay, alright, so I will open up this folder in the bracket. Let's just close this up first. Take the AOS folder, drop it into the bracket, and it will clean up whatever works that you have done previously, and you will see on the left side you will get the subfolders that you just created earlier. Now let's go in and put in a new files. So we save this file first, name this as index.html or animate.html. And then what I'm going to do is use a shortcut key, which is the exclamation mark and tab, and then you will see something like this. And I'm going to put here as experiment with AOS. AOS, by the way, is animated on scrolling. That is actually the short or the acronym for it. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to install bootstraps in here. So let's jump into the bootstrap website. Go to getbootstrap.com. And then I'm going to scroll down this time. Apparently, if you go with the JS deliver, you're only going to need these two lines here. One is for the CSS, another one is for the JavaScript bundles with poppers. Now let's copy it one by one. I'm going to start with the CSS first. Click copy from here, and then we will put it right after the title. And then you can clean it up so that it will make it nicer and also cleaner scripts for yours. So I'm going to remove out the integrity and the cross origin from here. Now let's go again for the second one, which is the JavaScript. I'm going to copy this, and JavaScript usually we will put it in the footer, which is before the body close. Again, integrity and the cross origin, we are going to remove this. Okay, so here we have a content that will be what do you call this, would be available for whatever content that we are going to do. So what I do is I'm going to do a couple of sections. So I'm going to do like a section, and then I'm going to put the section here with just one section first, and then in the section I'm going to create a container. So I put here a dot container, and in the container I'm going to do one row. So I put here as a row, and then in this row I'm going to have a column. So I put here a dash dot 3 columns. Okay, let's say I'm going to do here a dash MD dash 3. So that means that I'm about to do like 4 columns altogether. So I put in probably an image in here. So I'll put an image, and then the image will go into the image folder with the picture1.img.jpegs. Okay, and then I'm going to put a class, which the class says that this is a img dash fluid, meaning that the picture is going to be the size of the column. Okay, alright, so let's just try to have a look, save it, and then after that open up the live preview. You will see that it would actually look something like this. This is what I want, and then what I do is I can actually copy this up a couple more times, because it would actually generate or repeats like 4 times of the same row like this. So these are 4 in a row. Okay, so this container, what I'll do is, or this section, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to introduce some padding so that it will have a little bit of the space from the top and from the bottoms. Okay, so what I'll do is, this section, I say I have a class. Let's put the py here to be as big as possible. So I put here as a p padding on the y-axis to be 5. You will see that now it have a little bit of a space here. Okay, alright, so what you can also do is we put here a little bit of a background color. So I'm going to put here as a background color light. So you will see that it gives me a little bit of a light gray color from here as a normal one. Okay, alright, so what I will do is, this section I can copy it several times. Okay, what I do also is I can just like duplicate it in such a way. No, sorry, this is not really a right thing to do. Don't do that. Alright. Okay, what I do is I'm going to copy this up. Okay, and I'm going to have here the second section. I'm going to have the third section, fourth sections, and the fifth section. Okay, in such a way. So I have 5 sections that I just duplicated from the first section earlier, so that it will look something like this. The reason why I do this is because I just wanted to make sure that you know, like we have like a proper content for us to work with whenever we scroll in and out. Okay, so now I'm going to do a little bit of a customization. So what I'll do is, for this section, I could do a CSS, but I'm just going to do a CSS inside here because it's just a small thing. So I'm going to introduce style in between. Okay, so the style here, I say that it's going to have a height, and I say that I'm going to have a minimum height to be about 50 VH. Okay, the reason why I'm doing this is because I wanted to have the first one to actually spend a little bit bigger, which is about 50% of the page. Alright, so what I'll do is I'm going to make it a little bit bigger here. So let's say I'm going to make it into 70% perhaps. Alright, so you get a little bit bigger here. So what I'll do is I'm going to copy this style, and I'm going to drop it in others as well. I should have done this earlier, isn't it? But never mind. So I'm going to put it into the second section. I will put it into the third section. Okay, I'm going to put this in the fourth, and also in the fifth sections over here. Now let's have a look. By right, in your design, it should expand a little bit in the middle and so on. So it looks actually pretty okay here. What I also going to do is I'm going to make an interlaced background color. So the background light that I use here, I can actually simplify it with either background dark. Alright, so that means that each will have like one background color. Background dark is not so nice. So let's say I'm going to take out without the background. Okay, so it's just only a py-5. So you will see that now I have here the py5, and then after that the second one, and then the third one is like back into the color, and then the fourth one I'm going to take out the background lights. So let's go to the fourth one. So this is it. Alright, take out the background light, and then you will see that now it actually interlaced in the color. Okay, so I think this is good. What I also can do is I'm going to use an alignment or a vertical alignment. Now this vertical alignment, we have to put it in the row. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to go back again to the bootstraps. Let's take a look at the installation or the scripts for the vertical align. Let's just type here a vertical alignment, and then you will see that there are a couple of, sorry, let me just try this again. Vertical alignment, no, sorry, let me just find this, vertical cutter. It actually feels quite weird because I couldn't find it. Let me just look it inside of the utilities. Background, border, display, flex, interaction, opacity, position, shadow, alignment. A vertical alignment. This is what I want. No, actually this is not what I want. Let me just say self item or self align. Okay. Right, okay, so this is actually what I really want. So there is a script that says this, okay, I wanted it to be like in the middle like this. So we are going to use a deflex and also align item center. This is actually the one that I had. You may want to go in and read it a little bit more about this. So what happened is we are going to put it in the first row first. So I have a row here, and then I say that this row is going to come with the deflex and align item center. Okay, let's try it on the first sections. If you take a look on the first section, by right it's supposed to be changing, but it's not really changing. I wonder why. Hang on. Let me just try it if I put it in the column. No. Okay, let me just try it again in the row. Is supposed to be self align self center. Does it works? It doesn't work. Never mind, I will take a look at it later, but let's just go ahead to what we are trying to do here. So you have this, okay, content, which later on I'm going to make it go in slowly or eventually one by one. So what I'll do is I'm just going to go back again to the animate on scrolling. Okay, so I'm going to go way to the bottom of the page in order for me to install, all right, this CSS. Okay, so what you need to do is there are two lines here again with the CSS and also with the JavaScript. You can actually copy this line on the CSS and then come back to yours and then paste it in. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the JavaScript. What you do is you're going to copy the scripts and then go back again to the bottom of your JavaScripts. Okay, and then you can copy it in here as well. So it can either be before or after the bootstrap, it doesn't really matter. But after this happen, you have to add up another one line, which is to initialize the AOS. So I will copy this up. Okay, and then after that I'm going to drop it in here. So there are two scripts. One is actually a scripts that go to bootstrap. Another one is a script that go into the AOS. There are two sets here. Number one is it will just load up the AOS.javascripts. This is actually on the unpacking.com. So you will be connected to there. Second is to initialize the scripts in your web page. So there will be the aos.init bracket and then semicolon. Yeah, so to use it, all right. So what we will do is for the first section, okay, for the first section here, I'm going to put in the section first. So what I'll do is I'm going to come back, all right. We will start back again from the top. Let's say that as it scroll in, I want it to fit in such a way. Okay, so it says here that you have to put the div with the data AOS fade up. Okay, so I'm going to copy as a data AOS fade up, and then after that I'm just going to put it somewhere inside of the section. It depends on where you put it. So let's say if I put it here, all right, now let's have a look. You will see that as you scroll, okay, it would actually animate in such a way. But what happened is it will animate like the whole entire thing together with the section. Probably this is not really the best location for you to put it in. Now what I'll do is I'm going to remove this up. perhaps maybe I will put it in a row, because the row is actually the one that make it move. So I'm going to remove this flag again, and I'm going to put it in here. Sorry, I think that's like too many. Oh, sorry. I put it inside of the class. Supposed to put it outside of the class. There you go. So I put it in a row, okay, so that the block will still be here, the section will still be here, but as I move in, you will see that the whole 4 things will move. Okay, so this is actually what happened as you load, or if let's say somebody go to the animate.html and press enter. Okay, now for the second one, I'm going to make it for each individual of this. So what happened is I'm going to come back into here, and I say is that every time when I do this, the first one would actually fade from the right. So I will put in the fade right. I'm going to go to the second section. This time I'm going to go to the column. So the column for the first one, we will put in the data AOS. Sorry, I accidentally put it in the class again, outside of the class. So you will see that where's my view preview? Okay, so as we move in, right, you will see that it will actually like reveal itself in such a way. Do you see this? Okay, so it will go, take a look at this one. As I load in, it will go into here. Okay, perhaps if you want to look, this is more in action. For the section 1 here, I'm going to make it into 100 VH so that it will become like entire things. So this is actually the first one. As I scroll in, you will see that it will actually automatically go in by itself. Do you see this? Okay, alright, so what I do is I'm going to also make the fade up. I'm going to use the last one here to make it like this is supposed to be on the fade, the last column here. I'm going to put this is actually fade left. Why do I still keep on putting into the class? Right. This is supposed to be for the left. Okay, so if you take a look, you will see that now. Okay. Alright, so the first and the last one would actually go from here. Okay, it looks actually really nice and a bit more scrollmatic or parallax, right? Like kind of look. And then for this one, I can actually put it into it come from up, alright? And then the other one as well, I can make it that it comes from up or from down, just to show the different variety of it. So what happened is, if I scroll here, you will see that the first one will look like this, but the next one would actually have a little bit of the way of looking. Okay, alright, so this is actually how we use AOS, which is a very simple things, and it will make your scripts, or you will make your web design look more sleek, because as you scroll in, it would actually jump in one by one. Okay, so it depends on where you actually put it. I hope you can try out with the rest in order for you to do or to look into the example. You can refer back again into this website, which is animated on scrolling, and you can try out a couple more of other ways of like how the content or the component actually go into the site, and it can be applied at any components of the bootstrap that you done. Okay, so I hope you can try this out. That's all from me today.